Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1998 Represent. On this episode, we are taking a look at Hellbilly Deluxe by Rob Zombie. This is Rob Zombie's solo debut. He was in White Zombie prior to that, or prior to this album, so it wasn't a huge departure from him. There are like some various kind of like musical like styles that are kind of like present in both White Zombie and on this album, so it still is kind of in the vein of some of the stuff from White Zombie. So I have my notes here for this. So released August 25th, 1998. Like I said, this is his solo debut after being in White Zombie. White Zombie did like a few albums prior to that, and then by the sometime at some point in 1998, White Zombie had announced that they had broken up. So this album comes out. It actually hit the number 5 on the Billboard Top 200, which is pretty impressive, especially for a debut album of a new artist. Even though like it is similar to some stuff from White Zombie, it's still pretty impressive that it hit the got up to number 5 on the Billboard Top 200. Got some pretty good critical acclaim. It sold about 3 million copies, I think, initially when it was released. So basically triple platinum on that. So that is also pretty impressive. Pretty much a lot of the songs, or most of the songs, are inspired by kind of just like classic horror and classic horror films. There's various kind of like audio taken from various kind of like B level horror films, and it's all used very effectively in this album. So there's a great 3-song run. It's the very first 3 songs on the album, and it goes from Super Beast to Dragula to Living Dead Girl, and it's just those are probably the 3 best songs on the album in my opinion. And it just goes from one great song to another to another. I think my favorite song on the album overall is probably Dragula. I think. I first heard Dragula probably on like MTV or something. But another great version of that song is featured in the soundtrack to The Matrix. It's a remix. It's the Hot Rod Herman remix, and I actually think I prefer that remix to the studio version of the song. Both versions are really good, but that's just that scene in The Matrix when Neo walks into that kind of like nightclub, and Dragula, the remix is just pumping, and it's an awesome scene, and it's like I remember rewatching The Matrix like within the last couple years in theaters, and that scene was just still really good, still a really really good version of Dragula as well. Let's see here. Oh, so I guess Hellbilly Deluxe is the album, but Hillbilly Deluxe is based on a Dwight Yoakam album from 1987. So it was like Dwight Yoakam in '87 released Hillbilly Deluxe, and then Rob Zombie's kind of like horror twist on it is Hellbilly Deluxe. So we talked about the remix. Let's bring up the track list for the album here. So we have track 1. We have Call It a Zombie. This is kind of just like a short kind of like audio bit or just some dialogue. Track 2 is Super Beast. So the album really starts with track 2. So it goes from track 2 is Super Beast, moves into Dragula. After that, we move into Living Dead Girl. Track 5 is Perversion 99. Track 6 is Demonoid Phenomenon. Track 7 is Spook Show Baby. Track 8 is How to Make a Monster. Track 9 is Meet the Creeps. Track 10 is the Ballad of Resurrection. The Ballad of Resurrection Joe and Rosa Horror. Track 11 is What Lurks on Channel X. Track 12 is Return of the Phantom Stranger. and track 13 is the beginning of the end. And it's a fairly short album. It's about 38 minutes long total, so you can get through it pretty quickly. But it's just a pretty solid rock album. Like I said, White Zombie's kind of style is still there, but Rob Zombie started doing some stuff with like electronica in there, as well as like some industrial elements from industrial music, and it just makes for a really fun album, especially like kind of like I usually will listen to it like around like the like Halloween time, just because it's got some great bits from classic horror films, and then like I said, just Dracula is just an amazing song. I love it. Probably my favorite Rob Zombie song overall. If I had to choose one, I'm not the biggest Rob Zombie fan, but Dracula is definitely up there in probably my favorite song list from him. Like I said, the Hot Rod Herman remix of Dracula is also awesome. And this was like the first album from a career of just like making some very good rock albums, and then like going on later to write and direct various films like The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, and did two versions of his kind of take on Halloween, the John Carpenter films. But yeah, Hellbilly Deluxe, fun album. If you haven't listened to it, I would recommend just streaming it. It's like I said, not a very long album at all, and some of the songs on the album just they slap. So definitely check it out. That's going to do it for this video. We'll be back again in a few more days. I don't know what we're going to be covering just yet for the next episode of 1998 Represent, but we'll definitely be coming up with something. That's going to do it for now. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one.